Welcome to Breathe, Love, Parent, the Shine On podcast. I'm your host, Rach, yoga teacher, natural mama, and passionate guide in all things nervous system and connection. This is your space for honest conversations, emotional wellbeing tools, and mindful parenting insights. Whether you're in the thick of meltdowns or seeking a moment of calm, you belong here. Let's take a breath together and begin. Hello, lovely ones, and welcome back to Breathe, Laugh, Parent, the Shine On podcast. I'm so grateful you're here, carving out this moment to reflect, grow, and be reminded that you're not alone in this beautiful and wild journey of parenting. Today, we're diving into something I believe every parent needs to understand, no matter where you are in your parenting journey. So yes, boomers, I'm also talking to you. The nervous system. This isn't just science. It's the secret to staying warm when your toddler or your child is melting down in the shopping center, or when your baby just won't stop crying, or when your teenager slams their door and shuts you out. Understanding our nervous system, how it works, changes everything. It helps us respond with compassion instead of reacting in frustration. It helps us heal. And it helps us raise emotionally resilient kids. So let's breathe in together and begin. And I'll also apologize if you can hear the self-crested cockatoos in the background. They are with us today. Are they noisy? Anyway, I digress. So what is the nervous system? Let's break it down really simply. Your nervous system is a communication center of your body. It helps you survive and thrive. It's responsible for how you respond to stress, to danger, joy, and connection. And there are two main modes you've probably heard of: the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system, this is your fight, flight, or freeze response, or fawn, which is also included in here. It's like the body's internal alarm bell, and it's so useful in emergencies when you genuinely need it, but it is exhausting when it's constantly switched on. So the parasympathetic nervous system, this is what is referred to as your rest and digest mode, and it's your regulated mode. It's where healing happens, it's where connection lives, and where your breath deepens and your body feels safe. As parents, we spend a lot of time unintentionally stuck in sympathetic mode because of lack of sleep, overstimulation, emotional triggers, and the relentless pace of life with children. And that's why we feel snappy, anxious, frustrated, angry, or shut down. Not because we're failing, but because our nervous systems are overwhelmed. So why does this matter in parenting? Well, here's why understanding this is so powerful. Emotions are contagious. There's strong evidence around emotional contagion, especially between a parent and a child. Our dysregulation often becomes their dysregulation. But the opposite is true too. So when we are regulated, we help them regulate. Co-regulation comes before self-regulation. Our children borrow our nervous systems until their own are mature enough to do the job. This means they need us to be their calm when they can't find it on their own. Nervous system awareness increases compassion. When you know your nervous system is reacting to a perceived threat, like mess or noise or whining, you begin to soften towards yourself. You learn to say, I'm not a bad parent. I'm dysregulated. I need care. Now, I'd like to share with you some tools for regulation. So, what helps us regulate? And I'm going to mention 5 things in this section here. Firstly, the breath. simple, deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breath is the bridge between chaos and calm. Even one conscious breath can down-regulate your nervous system enough to function and provide the gentleness and groundedness that your children need. The second one is body awareness. So noticing, where are your shoulders? Are they up around your ears or are they relaxed down on your back? Are you clenching your jaw? Are you clenching your fists? Can you soften your belly? Getting into your body, feeling your feet on the ground helps bring us back to the present. Our sense of touch and nature are great to help us regulate. A hand on the heart, bare feet in the grass, a hot shower, a cold plunge. These grounding tools tell your body you're safe, you're held. Naming your state. I feel overwhelmed. My chest feels tight. My jaw is clenched. My fists are firm. Naming what's happening physiologically disarms the alarm bells in the brain. And you could follow the sensations in the body. So it might jump from one spot to the next. So name and follow until it softens or lessens or disappears. And the final one, slowing down. Joyful parenting isn't about doing more. It's about doing things differently. So less rushing, more presence. Now, we can't talk about the nervous system without discussing down-regulating and up-regulating and what they mean and how to use them. So let's take this a step further by introducing two really supportive nervous system concepts, down-regulating and up-regulating. These are simple ways of shifting your nervous system state depending on what you need in the moment. And yes, you can learn how to do this intuitively with practice. So firstly, what is down-regulating? Down-regulation helps us move out of a heightened or overstimulated state, like stress, panic, rage, or overwhelm, and into a more calm and grounded one. You might need to down-regulate if you feel your heart racing or chest tightening, you're about to yell, cry, or scream, you feel overstimulated by noise, demands, or big emotions. Now, these are just some examples. And here are some examples of down-regulation tools that you could include. Deep belly breathing, like box breathing or 4-7-8 breath. And I invite you to jump back into an earlier podcast where I discussed and shared a variety of different breathing techniques. Some other things include laying flat on the floor with one hand on your heart and the other on your belly. Using grounded scents like Shinom's Calm the Farm is amazing for down-regulating. Or essential oils like lavender, or even just holding fresh lavender. Also smells amazing. Swaying, humming, or holding something cold in your hands. Stepping outside barefoot to connect with nature is a great example of down-regulating. So the goal for down-regulating is soothing the system, letting your body know it's safe. Now, what is up-regulating? Well, upregulation helps us lift out of a shutdown state. So when we feel flat, frozen, numb, or disconnected. This often happens after prolonged stress, burnout, or emotional overload. Now, you might need to upregulate if you feel like you're running on autopilot, you're emotionally flat or disassociating, which means like you're just not present, right? You feel exhausted even after rest. So upregulation tools can include, shaking out your arms and legs. Think of it as releasing stuck energy. Brisk walking or dancing to upbeat music helps. Laughing, even if it's fake laughing at first. Or, listen to a comedy podcast or put on some comedy. There's so many great and accessible things either on YouTube or Netflix even have them now. Even at ABC iView has some great comedy on there as well. Like the Melbourne Comedy Show. Anyway, yeah, anything that's going to make you laugh. even if it's like animals wearing hats. I mean, whatever you do, you. Splashing cool water on your face, using invigorating essential oils. So, Shine On Naturals Awaken essential oil is perfect for this. Even our Winter Warrior is great too, as it's got the eucalyptus scents. But anything with like citrus or peppermint or eucalyptus that's really going to kind of like wake up the senses is great. Now, singing, stretching, or engaging your senses with a refreshing scent or sound helps lift the energy up. So that's what these tools are about, bringing the energy up, helping you feel alert, embodied, and present again. Like like a wake up. So why does this matter in parenting? When we start recognizing whether we need calming or energizing support, we become better at meeting ourselves and our kids where we are and where they are. We can offer our children down-regulating tools when they're dysregulated and up-regulating moments when they're also flat or withdrawn. It's not about fixing. It's about noticing and then responding with love and care. This is nervous system literacy, and it's one of the greatest parenting gifts that we can give. When we know better, we soften. The more we understand the nervous system, the more compassion we can offer ourselves and our children. Now, this isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. And with awareness comes power. Power to pause before yelling. Power to walk away and breathe. Power to repair after a rupture. And power to model regulation and emotional intelligence. Now, you're doing so much already. Let this be the reminder that tending to your own nervous system is not selfish, it's actually essential. So let's take a mindful moment together and let's end with a small practice. Place a hand on your heart if that feels safe. Close your eyes or soften your gaze unless you are driving or operating machinery or anything that's unsafe to do so, then keep your eyes open. Take a slow, deep breath in and a gentle breath out. Now ask yourself, what does my nervous system need right now? Can you offer yourself that care, even if it's just one sip of water or one kind thought? And hey, if the tears are coming, let them come. Crying is a release of emotion. Whatever needs to happen right now, allow that to be. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Shine On podcast. I hope it gave you a fresh perspective on joy, boundaries, connection, and nervous system support, because it's all connected in the way we show up as parents and humans. If today's episode sparked something in you or left you wanting more practical tools, I'd love to invite you to check out my Mindful Child Toolkit. So I created a downloadable and printable ebook that you can keep somewhere handy, like your kitchen, put it on the bench or pin it to the fridge or corkboard. So when things feel big or messy, you've got a gentle guide right here to support you. So inside, you'll find easy to use tools for both down-regulating and up-regulating with your kids. Joyful and playful ideas rooted in nervous system regulation. Real-life examples and ideas that you can weave it into everyday parenting. I've also included, links to related podcast episodes, blog posts, guided meditations, guided breathwork practices, and so much more. Basically, I've created a book that you can have as a parent. Kind of wish they just gave it to you when you gave birth. Wouldn't that be nice? Like, here is a guide to help your nervous system. Yeah, but it's basically like a one-stop shop that you can just you have access to all the things. So it's a resource I wish I had when I started this journey. And that's exactly why I made it. I made it for you. So you can grab a copy on my website, shineon.com.au, and I can share some other places you can purchase it as well in the show notes. And yeah, it's to bring a little more ease, connection, and clarity into your parenting flow. So thanks again for being here, and I'll catch you in the next episode where, And I want you to know you're doing a beautiful job. So keep going. So breathe, laugh, parent, and keep shining, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me on Breathe, Laugh, Parent. If this episode brought you a moment of calm or connection, please share it with a fellow mama. Subscribe on your favourite platform or visit shineom.com.au/podcast for more. Until next time, keep breathing, laughing, and parenting with heart. The information shared on Breathe, Laugh, Parent, the Shine On podcast is for general educational and inspirational purposes only. It is not medical, therapeutic, or professional advice and should not be relied on as such. Always consult a qualified health or parenting professional for support tailored to your individual needs. Shine On and its guests disclaim any liability for decisions made based on this content.